I think from day one, as founders, we were very focused on what we wanted to build as a niche offering to our clients. We always stayed under this umbrella of quality management and never diverted.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm joined by Jamil, co-founder of Virtual Force and co-founder and CEO of Kualitatem, a leading name in the information technology and services space. At RevGenAI, we build AI automated outbound and thought leadership podcast systems for B2B founders, and this show is where we're spotlighting growth-minded leaders who are driving innovation in their industries. Today, we'll dive into how Jamil and his team are creating impact, scaling growth, and shaping the future of software quality, cybersecurity, and compliance. Jamil, it's great to have you.
Thank you, Meyer. Player here.
Of course. So, a good place for us to start is if you could explain to us really what inspired you to start Virtual Force and Qualitatum, and how you really shaped the company and what you guys focus on to start.
Sure. So Kualitatem is a parent company, and when we were working on this idea back in 2008, 2009, we formally started early 2009. We were with the background of software quality assurance. Both the founders had a background in software testing and IT auditing. And at that time, we just thought that why not build an independent platform that can help organizations who are either building their applications, doing digital transformations, or who are sourcing third party vendors to build their tech have an independent opinion around quality. How we could be able to help them release their release their applications in time and on quality. So this was the primary thought behind building up this company. And from there, we started the operations with software testing, then later added software security testing, then compliance. Then today, we are a TMMi Level 5 company working globally from US, Middle East, Europe, and Pakistan, and have worked with almost thousands of clients from enterprise to SME, helping them in their engineering lifecycle. So we started with basic software testing. We built up the whole suite of testing where we do performance engineering, performance testing, automation testing, manual testing. Then we built up processes. When we got our TMMi level 5, we started coaching organizations and shaping up their processes. Then I think we are one of the only consulting companies globally who have built their own testing lifecycle platform as well. So we have our own software which companies can use to help augment their testing and quality assurance data. So it's a whole application lifecycle management platform, which can be used by engineering teams, and it's embedded with processes, controls, and a discipline that enables organization to stay on top of their quality. The engineers would know what's going on, the managers would know how the application health is doing. The business can independently know whether they are ready for their transformation launch or any other critical business decision. So, in a nutshell, we have 3 to 4 services units where we are doing software testing, we are doing cybersecurity services, we are doing infrastructure and reliability engineering, and then process advisory. And then on the product side, we have our own suite of products where one of the product quality, that is a software test lifecycle management platform. Think Jira plus multiple other plugins combined to offer you a testing platform. Replace all of that, and that can be done through quality only. Then we have our own threat monitoring and response platform called Kontrol. And finally, we have our own platform called CrossCheck that helps manage compliance in the critical and difficult regulatory landscape globally that is emerging.
Hmm. Thank you for that detailed answer. And I, it's really interesting to me how everything has developed. But a core thing that I'm very interested in is just how do you stand out in a crowded market? Everybody is trying to reach these enterprise companies. And so what has been the key philosophy or just strategy around you being able to stand out in a crowded market?
I think from day one, as founders, we were very focused on what we wanted to build as a niche offering to our clients. We always stayed under this umbrella of quality management and never diverted. We always offered the consulting, audit, and assurance services around software testing and cybersecurity engineering. So, with 15 to 16 years just spent on that, I think the level exposure, experience, skill set that was built by the team is hard to, I would say, match. Secondly, we scratched our own itch. While we were offering these services to our clients, we were using third party software tools to manage those services. Over the period of time, in some of those areas, we built our own tools because when we were using those third party tools, we immediately saw the challenges as users and service providers and gaps that existed. So we tried to fill those gaps and created something which is um, adding more value to our clients, easy to use, futuristic, and scalable. So a
Mm.
blend of product, process, and skill set brought together in a very niche area is where we are competing against our competitors.
Mm. I really like that philosophy. It's very difficult as entrepreneurs, I'm sure you can agree, to not get distracted and try to expand your services in a way that it may make sense short term, but long term, like I can obviously understand being focused for 16 years into your area of expertise of staying in this quality management improvement and security compliance, these things that are core value drivers for many businesses, and just honing your expertise on that, it creates a compounding effect where you can really be on the cutting edge and a market leader and a thought leader in this area of your expertise. And we focus the same thing for ourselves. We look at our philosophy is how do we create more human relationships using technology based off of smart signals and different AI tools today that exist. But the core thesis is the same. How do we connect humans to humans based off of just matching what services are provided and what services are needed, and creating those lasting relationships. And so I like that take. I am curious though, with everything that has evolved and now with the way that AI is existing today, how you're shifting your service delivery and what key changes you're experiencing internally that is exciting you and really changing how you're actually servicing your clients with, vibe coding tools and things like this. Like I'm really interested to hear your take on that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, AI has dramatically changed the way things had been done in the past. With a lot of LLMs out there, a lot of use cases which have already been built and demonstrated around building efficiencies with AI, everybody is looking at finding a more efficient way of doing things. For example, in engineering, we have seen all these copilots and other similar tools which are augmenting all the engineering effort and multiplying that effort by X fold. Of course, there is a debate that this will reduce the number of engineers, but I would say instead of reducing the number of engineers, it should be thought from this perspective that it will multiply and speed up the outcomes. So engineers can stay the same, but the outcomes planned over the duration of time can be reduced in the time life cycle. And that is basically more efficient business delivery, more efficient outcomes, more efficient experiments, and quicker results and key outcomes to pivot or move to the next level. And I would say similarly in our field, for example, when we used to do test, it's all about a whole life cycle of preparing the test plan, building up the understanding the requirements, understanding the use cases, building up the test scenarios against those use cases, then dividing them into detailed test cases, identifying the test data, establishing the test environment, and then executing those tests to check whether the outcome is independently um, validated and verified, which means that whether the outcome intended is according to what was planned and actually delivering that correctly or not. So all of that has taken up a different route now, with platforms which could be able to manage the data. You can apply AI on top to speed up. For example, in our tool Quality, we have developed our own AI engine that can help the testers generate test cases faster. For example, you have given a whole set of requirements or BRDs to the platform, and it can help you create a whole set of test cases, which is of almost 80 to 90% of the actual test cases. There may be some corner cases that may be missed, but imagine if somebody has to write 1,000 test cases and they are automatically getting about 800 test cases. They just have to focus on those corner cases and reduce all the effort that has or would have gone into it. Similarly, in test execution, automation testing had been there since number of years, but now agentic testing is taking up. Instead, that a human is running the whole test case manually, can there be an agent who can run the test case manually and report against that outcome or not? Now, this is again efficiency. For manual testing, somebody doing 100 test cases would take probably a couple of days, or more than that. But an agent can actually perform that in a very short span of time. So, hence, vibe coding, vibe engineering, vibe testing, everything vibe is actually evolving these days.
It is. And even things internally for us that we thought were impossible a month ago are now becoming like our standard workflow. And so it's a great time to be alive. And I really like your take that many people have fear around this change, and as humans, we naturally fear change. But because we fear like, okay, AI is going to replace us, is going to change the whole entire economy, but fundamentally, I think we're going into this place where we're just improving with the use of this technology, and it's getting faster and faster, and we're seeing that we can, deliver better results. We can deliver results faster. We can validate things better, and it's very exciting. So there's also, it's important to remember that these tools are very powerful, and it just depends on how we use them. At least that's how I think about it. If we can use it for good, it will get good outcomes. And I like your pragmatic point of view on each and every part, on how you're actually using these tools to sharpen your outcomes. I'm curious at looking at a different part of Qualitatem and understanding really your go-to-market strategy. Um, I'm curious, really, what's working best right now in terms of client acquisition? I saw that you post content. I'm sure you get referrals. I'm curious if you do outbound or you source from partnerships. What is your strategy really look like?
Right. So I think over the period of time, sales and bringing in business has evolved from a traveling salesman to a knocking salesman to somebody who is um, building or leveraging their relationships and continuously, I would say, putting in effort to evolve those relationships. Now, the the breadth that internet has provided all of us is a global outreach. You can reach anywhere, anyone through LinkedIn, through other mediums. And the question is how you are able to reach out to somebody with content that may click to them at the right time, at the right position, where they have a potential opportunity for you to discuss. Of course, you need to build credibility. Credibility comes with thought leadership. Thought leadership is demonstrated into your um content, work, references, case studies. Um, but then again, if you're not reaching out, if you're not having those eyeballs, all of that is useless. So everybody's trying. I'm not sure if somebody is able to find that cookie cutter formula that works every time in a similar fashion because, I mean, people cracked SEO, SEO evolved. People cracked um, advertisements, online digital advertisements, but they got more expensive. People are trying to now do GPT engine optimizations, GEO. I don't know to what extent that would be possible, but organically reaching out through old mediums like emails, calls, and probably leveraging newer platforms like LinkedIn, that those kind of strategies may be in combination fruitful in certain ways. Of course, the aim is to connect, create interest, and bring somebody to chat and talk. So I'm not sure if that's something that you, being a better expert in your area, would agree, but happy to learn.
Yeah, I think we look at things the same. Uh, you can reach out, and nothing replaces creating that first initial connection. But at the same time, you do need presence where you have case studies, you have thought leadership, you're showcasing your expertise because you no one can copy that. And then also a great benefit of outreach is that it's private. It's a private way of advertising, so it's hard to copy, and and it is also very reliable because once you find what works, it's very scalable. And so we use the same philosophy. I think nothing really will replace that one-on-one outreach. Maybe the platform